Konnichiwa friends, I am Sekai X Arts and Animations, and today I'm going to talk about how to find your art style. There is a pool of videos out there about this, and I thought it was about time I threw my hat into the ring. The example I'm using here is a drawing I did of my OC Aurelia Magistus. If you all watched my very first video, you'll know that I have been experimenting a lot with my art style lately. Now, I have been drawing for as long as I can remember. Even as a really small child, I adore doodling with whatever, whether that was crayons or those magnetic drawing boards or markers. In fact, sometimes I would even ask for just blank paper for Christmas. True story. But despite all that, I have only just recently gone on the journey to find my art style, and I thought that I would share with you all the things that I've been learning and trying out so that I can help you find your art style too. The first thing that I would recommend, and the first thing that I did, was get a pool of pictures to use as examples of what you want your art style to be. I put all of these into a Pinterest board and grouped them based on what I wanted to take from each style. Here's how I categorized mine. Fire Emblem 3 Houses for face shape, noses, and lips. Miriam Safdar's style for noses, Love Nikki for hair, skin, eyes, and clothes, Shining Nikki style for hair, skin, eyes, and clothes as well. I also use Shining Nikki's proportions, Hanakyu style for skin and eyes, and Genshin Impact style for effects like lightning and snow. Do note that it's okay, good even, to have multiple references for one element. You don't have to have a reference for everything that I did, but I would recommend having a reference for everything you want to be important in your style. For me, that was a lot. But if you already like the way that you draw something, or if you don't want it to be in your style, for example, some styles don't have noses, then by all means, you don't have to have a reference for it. In addition to this, you'll want to separate styles that you like from ones that you want to emulate. I ran into a lot of styles that I thought were beautiful, but I didn't necessarily want to draw in or thought wouldn't mesh well with the style I was going for. For example, I adore Lavender Town's art style. However, I didn't think that it would incorporate well with the one that I was imagining in my head, so I left it out of this study. To that note, however, it is perfectly okay for someone to have multiple styles, good even. While I was gathering references for the style I wanted, I also saved some references for other styles I would one day like to have, or ones that I was seeking to improve. For example, I have a section for my own specific style, my standard anime style, my cartoon style, my retro cartoon style, my realism style, my detailed anime style, my chibi style, and my sketch style. It's great to have a lot of styles and strive to be a versatile artist. So if you have a style that just doesn't quite fit in right, feel free to save it as inspiration for a different style. Also, just a little warning, I would recommend having more references rather than less because you're trying to find your own style, not learn how to draw someone else's. The more art styles you pull from, the more unique yours will look because you're taking from multiple sources. Once all of your inspiration gathering is done, you can begin Frankensteining it all together into one portrait. This was really hard for me in some places to do, simply because I really wanted to have a pretty detailed style. But the time and effort it will take will depend on the style you're going for. If you're having trouble figuring out what you want your style to be, or if you're finding styles that you appreciate but don't want to draw in, then you can try this approach. I mentioned in my last video that art styles are all about emphasizing and de-emphasizing parts of the body, objects, and environments. So if you're having trouble finding references that look like what you want your style to be, start thinking about what parts of the body you want to exaggerate and which parts you want to tone down, like the eyes, noses, head, etc. A good starting place for this would be to emphasize the parts that you like drawing the most. And if this doesn't work, just try as many styles as you can until you find a certain genre of style that clicks for you. You could also try watching a bunch of videos showing all the different ways to stylize each part of the body. Eyes, nose, mouth, hair, proportions, etc. and pick and choose from the examples they give. I actually just posted a video about noses last week, which I'll link in the description. Once you're happy with your piece, take a look and see what you'd like to change and improve. After that, continue drawing in the same style over and over, critiquing after every attempt. And eventually, this will solidify how to draw in your style in your brain, and it will become second nature. However, do keep in mind that finding your art style is an eternal journey. You never just arrive. As long as you keep drawing, your art will evolve and improve. If you're looking for creative ways to practice drawing in your style, my recommendation would be to do a lot of Draw This in Your Style art challenges. These are all over the place and can really get you thinking about what are the key parts of your style. In conclusion, I hope this was helpful for you. Please consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you all in the next one.